Good evening and welcome to FPRL T3 Italy Grand Prix around Monza. This track is home to Ferrari and is 5.79 kilometers long with 11 corners. Drivers will be full power for over 75% at reaching speeds of around 215 miles per hour, the quickest we'll see on any track this season, which is why Monza is known as the Temple of Speed. In the driver standings, we have an Alfa Romeo 1-2 with Snedden leading and extending his lead over his teammate Tadas in second to 66 points. The battle for second and third is very close though, just 8 points covering second to fourth. In the Constructors' Championship, Alfa Romeo continue to dominate with a 136 point lead over second place Williams. Tonight, I am joined by my regular commentator and partner in crime, Biddle. Good evening to you, how are you? And in your opinion, Biddle, do you think anyone can catch Snedden, or do you think he'll just continue to dominate?
Well, good evening, TJ. Thank you for the warm introduction. I'm not too bad. Hope you're okay. In terms of Snedden and the championship, I pretty much think it's a done deal now. I think I said that last week. After the results there, I think it'll be very, very, very hard for anyone to catch him at this point. And I think he's missing one more race before the end of the season, so that might help a few of the drivers in terms of closing the gap slightly. But I think it is growing to that stage now where, given his form and given the consistency he's shown through the season, I think it'll be really difficult for anyone to catch him.
Yep. It's I know we're only around 14, but yeah, I echo what you say that I think it is pretty much done deal now. 6 point gap. It is going to be hard for anyone to catch him at this point, and even the constructors as well. Both the Alfa Romeo drivers, 136 point lead. It's a massive task for any team to overhaul that now at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, I know McLaren and Williams have had their races at times and they've had their patches of form throughout the season. They just haven't been as consistent, nowhere near as consistent, obviously, as Alfa Romeo. And those two teams, while they've done a good job, they have been not quite on the same level as the Alfa Romeo pairing.
Yep, that's right. As we turn attention on track, I have on board of midfield Maestro, who I believe is going to be the first driver to set a lap. He has just gone a little bit wide through Lesmos and is just at the Ascari chicane, takes it very nicely. Just quicker than the Ascari chicane middle. I know some drivers hate it, some drivers love it. How do you find the Ascari chicane?
Hate it with a passion. I know you're quite fond of it though. I think you've a bit of practice around here and nailed it slightly, but yeah, I can't quite kiss the curbs at that point. As Espenio getting very out of sorts at the second Lesmo there. That's another corner I really don't like. I always seem to touch the first one and go into a spin and do a Hamilton in 09 almost and kiss the wall, and hopefully Espenio's avoided doing that, and hopefully the rest of them do throughout qualifying.
Yep, rightly so. As we are getting times on the board now, midfield Maestro for 20.9, that's a fantastic lap for his first lap. Nigel Piggle, bit off the pace there for 21.5, maybe had a bit of an issue. But with this track being so short, I'd expect drivers to be doing at least a couple of push laps. I don't think you need to cool tyres down. I think you'll have got enough ERS to do 2 push laps.
Yeah, it'll be tight on the ERS by the end of the second push lap. I don't think tyres are really an issue as you mentioned, but yeah, I prefer the tracks with a shorter lap. But I kind of think that this might tend a little bit more towards Nigel Piggle. I still expect Snedden to be a class above. We've not got Adrian here tonight, who would have challenged him for that pole position. We'll see if anyone else can get anywhere near the form that we expect Snedden to have. But yeah, Nigel Piggle, as you mentioned, will be definitely hoping he can get back up there towards the front.
Yep, definitely. He is ahead of Adrian in the standings, I believe, and he'll want to extend that gap out even more of Adrian missing tonight. Just seeing if we've got any new drivers on the grid. I don't think we have. No, we've got no new drivers on the grid. We've got a couple of familiar faces in reserves of Iron Jaw and midfield Maestro. We've seen Just talk about midfield Maestro quick. He's put 20.9 in. We've seen him race a couple of times. We mentioned about people that could challenge up front to Sneddon maybe. I think he's got the pace to be up there. You know, 20.9 in his first half, it is pretty decent. And given how he's raced previously, we know he has got the pace.
Yeah, he has got the pace, especially over a single lap. He always seems to do sort of well in qualifying. I know he's had issues.
I seem to have lost my co-commentator. Hopefully it's just his controller died and he'll be back with me very shortly. Oh, no, let me just drop him an invite quickly. So while we wait for Biddle to come back into the party, and he has just rejoined thankfully, right on board with TS9. He has just gone purple sector 1, but we do know what the game's like sometimes. It could be just his personal best. Going through Lesmos there, and takes a little bit of curb, a little bit squeaky, but pretty clean through there. Starts going down towards the Sky Chicane. It is just flat out at this point, DRS wide open. Now time to pick your braking point at that point, which looks like he has good entry into the Sky Chicane. Lifts off a little bit and does run a little bit wide going for the second part of it. It's still obviously clean through here. Once again, foot back down to the floor. As we come down to turn 11, a very long-winded turn. Driver once again hits the curb nicely, puts his foot to the ground, and sets a 1:21.7. That's a decent time from TS9, that is.
Time, and that'll be kind of getting through. I imagine.
Yep, definitely. I hope I've something's pushed a bit off, but I've just broke up again slightly. I think Biddle might be leaving the party very shortly, so I'll ride on board with T-Jerk, who's going around the circuit currently. Hits the gravel through that tight chicane there, which is very easy to do. Going through Lesmos, pretty nice and clean here, as it does look like we've got a spinner between Nigel and maybe David, but we're still riding board with T-Jerk here, all the way down to the Sky Chicane, foot down to the ground. Yep, hits the Sky Chicane very nicely, keeps it nice and clean here. That's perfect through there, hits the curb on the exit. Once again, foot down to the ground. As I mentioned right at the beginning, this is a very drivers will be spending most of the time on the power. It is the fastest circuit on the track, and we do see that the fastest speeds around here as well. As he does open his DRS and goes across the finish line to 1:22.3, he will no doubt want to improve with that, as I will just get an invite back to my co-commentator. As midfield Maestro, as we tie in the pits about this over 1:29, he is pretty safe there. That's a fantastic lap just on his one run. As I ride on board with FPRL Locker going through to the turns 1 and 2. Keeps it nice and clean through there. Keeps it nice and tight to the curb as he continues around. Through sector 1, that's nice and clean, purple sector 1 again. Runs a little bit wide and pulls out, so now we still continue on. Keeps it nice and clean through Lesmos again. Yeah, puts his foot down to the ground, sends it to 1:20.6. That's a fantastic lap as well from Sneddon, our championship leader. As Locker is approaching the Sky Chicane. Takes it nice and clean. Has to lift off ever so slightly to correct a bit of his lead end from snapping on him. comes around the final corner and sets a 122.8. Yeah, that's expected. I think he did pull out ever so slightly, and he'll be wanting to push again as he is. As we ride on board with Valentes, who comes on the final corner as well. Home Ferrari, will we get Ferrari on the podium? That's a 121.8, which is probably safe. Although he'll probably want to go a little bit quicker, just to be certain. Apologies, I'm just trying to see what's happening with my co-commentator. As we ride on board Soprano Legend, starting his lap, I'm going to jump actually forward to David Lawface in the Ferrari as well. Goes for that chicane pretty nicely there, goes into Les Mo's. Yeah, he's able to lose back end by the looks of it there slightly. Still nice and clean though, hits the curb on the exit. DRS wide open, straight down the sky chicane at this point. Takes that very nicely, very long, a lot of curb there, but that was very nice through the Sky chicane. Picking a bit of a cheeky talk from the Red Bull there. Slows the car down for turn 11, keeping it nice and tight to the curbs. And that's a 121.5 for David Lawface, and I imagine that's safe for David there. Nice to see both Ferraris doing very well again. Jump back to Soprano Legend, who's coming around turn 11 now. And he must have invalidated at some point, I didn't. Oh no, it's 123.1. Must have had a mistake halfway through. Hasn't got enough fuel on board. Whether he continue to push on this lap, I don't know. But he'll want to get round quick to pull a bit of fuel into that car, get back out and try to set a lap time. As we are seeing gyros retire, we've seen Nigel Piggler retire and Willie Bum. Both of the representative times there, and safely through to Q2 with a 21.2s and 21 flat. But the only driver not set lap yet is Skivvied, as he's going to approach the Sky chicane here. Bit tentative through there, but still keeps it nice and clean. As FPL Locker retires in the pit, once again I say he's pretty safe at 121.4. The Skivvied is now approaching turn 11, wants to slow the car down pretty nicely. Straight to the finish line. 122.7. Once again, he'll want. Hopefully, he's got enough to fuel on board for a second lap, and he'll want to go back round on that. So probably any drivers at best currently, I'm probably gonna say Espinio downwards. Probably needs really Luke, and maybe TS9, who is out on a fast lap. Soprano Legend is out, he's retired in the pits, and that's a shame from the Aston Martin driver. We do know he's got a lot of pace around here. Well, a lot of pace in general, sorry. So hopefully he'll have a better race. As people are probably come a little bit early, perhaps to give themselves a couple of push laps. I am seeing who's ahead. We've had a bit of Espinio, who's coming on turn 11 now. Let's see if he can improve any of his 121.7. And sets himself and doesn't go any quicker. So he's going to continue pushing on. Hopefully you can set a better time. Mongo is coming out of the pits. Left it nice and late in the Red Bull driver as there. See if he does need to really push or not. As Panicans invalidated it, coming round the turn 11. Once again, these drivers all needing just a good lap in here. Panican decides he needs to pit. I'm not sure whether he's got time to pit, come back out again, so we'll see what the Aston Martin driver does here. As Iron Jaw gets out the way of the Red Bull of Hobnob, going through the Sky Chicane, looked like he threw that very nicely. Hobnob will be hoping for a better time at this point. Fuel light has just come on. Hobnob puts a 121.4 in. I'd say that's pretty safe from the Red Bull driver there. Nice to see him up there. As David Lolface is coming back out, doesn't feel safe in the 121.5. Which is interesting to see. TS9's on his way round. As Iron Jaw is having a bit of a nightmare there at turn 1. I'm not quite sure what happened to him there, but he's right on board with him as he cuts across the corner. I'm not sure whether he's got enough time to get back around the track now, but we'll wait and see what the McLaren driver does. As we have got spinners somewhere. Skivvy's retired in the pits. Obviously doesn't feel. No, I think Skivvy's retired on track actually. I think he spun it at the Sky Chicane. I'm just trying to get on board with someone to try and get it. Right on board with Hobnob, and hopefully we can see where Skivage dropped it. Yeah, I just managed to see that towards the end. Looks like he went a bit wide on the Ascari exit and hit the gravel trap and just went into the wall. Very easy to do around here. As drivers are now rushing down the back straight. Spinny has going to be the first one across the line. Let's see if the Haas driver improves by anything. Yeah, the Haas driver's pitting. As David Lolface starts his fast lap now. Iron Jaw's in the pit, so that's the end of his qualifying. So at the moment, the drivers at risk are going to be TS9 and Ned Air. If Panican and T-Jerk can set a lap, and my Coke. Oh, and T-Jerk spun it at turn 1. And that is him out to qualify, I imagine, at this point. Hopefully he stays out the way of... is it TS now? Yep, so Panican won't go through. He's taking a checkered flag. TS9's on his way down the Sky Chicane now. He's out of fuel, so we have lost. So we have got about 5 at this point. And I do have my co-commentator back, Biddle. Yeah, that's fine. As we wait for TJ to make his way back round into the pit. So the bottom 5 in Q1 are Soprano Legends, Skivvid 92, T-Jerk, Panic End, and Iron Jaw. To
be fair, I would have expected Soprano Legend to make it through. Definitely. He's definitely got the pace to make it at least a Q2, so yeah. Big mistake from him there to not make it through. No idea what happened to him, but...
it just looked like he didn't have the car set up correctly. It looked like he was struggling on track. Interesting thing here, I think we have lost David Lolface. He is in P15. He's showing us out as a 121.5, and the driver above him, TS9, is a 121.7, so he must have dropped it at some point. So we'll see if David Lolface will make it through to Q2, but from the base of that, I don't think he will, which is a shame because the Ferrari driver had all the pace from the laps he was starting.
I mean, it might have been. I didn't get to see any. Still can't get into the game. Nigel Piggle says he's having connection issues. Well, so am I. So we've got something in common there for the first time ever, I think, Nigel Piggle.
So yeah, so just to confirm, yeah, so Soprano Legend, Skivvid, T-Jerk, Panic and Iron Jaw, and unfortunately, we do lose David Lolface, who I've just been informed lost at the chicane.
Yep, that will happen. Well, I might have seen it. I can't, it's not even let me spectate now. So yeah,
Hopefully it'll sort
really
itself
well.
out in a minute.
Yeah.
So it's very nice again. So it's just a quick look at the Twitch chat. It's very nice to see the drivers near again. We've got a spinner cam that's been requested, which is great to see. Nice to see you as well, Silver Soul Boy. And I'm not good. I hope you're doing very well, my good friend. Hopefully we'll see you back next week.
I'm here.
And
I can see
as
people.
usual,
I can see people. I can see some garages.
and as usual in the Twitch chat, Gary is receiving shit. So that's great news.
Yeah. Well, he is. Well, I won't say it. Everyone can see it for themselves. 40 beautiful viewers watching us live along in this Q2 session. And yeah, I mean, most people that were here for Q1 did see Soprano Legend drop out, as you mentioned, David Lawface out as well. I'm surprised as well at T-Jerk as well, but you know, this track can really catch people out at times. I don't think it would have been a problem in terms of invalidation, but if you just not hook up the lap, or as you say, TJ, hook up the lap, doesn't quite work for them. And yeah, so we're going to lose 4 more drivers now to that bring music to the ears of the last 14.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, as you mentioned, it is all about hooking the car up around the track. It isn't all about just your straight line speeds. You have got to put the balance in the car through these very tricky tight chicanes, especially through Ascari as well. It's a quick chicane, and just even dropping it on the curb a little bit will unbalance you. And yeah, unfortunately, as Davey found out, will knock you out. As there is a bit of on-track battle currently between Espinia and Midfield Maestro for track position.
Yeah.
Hopefully, one of these drivers has to concede, which I imagine is going to be Midfield Maestro, who will slow down very shortly. So we'll run on board with Espinia, who will take us round his first lap in Q2. Interestingly, the field is probably half and half on tyre strategy, as well as one clown who's picked wet tyres.
Yeah, he's after the shoutouts out there. Every Wednesday, there's always a clown, always a joker in the pack. And shock, it's Nigel Piggle once again. I'm not surprised to see a split on strategies, and this is no disrespect to the drivers, but drivers that have chose the softs I kind of would expect to perhaps put the softs on to try and get through to Q3. Apart from Midfield Maestro and Magsy, I would have thought they would have had the pace to definitely make it through on mediums, as to maybe Willy Bum as well. He's chose the soft compound tyre, so some of the faster guys then that we've seen this season in the field feeling it necessary to choose the softs early on.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Liz. From the practicing I've done around here, and from what I'm hearing from drivers, that okay, it isn't one-stop strategy, so soft, mediums, medium, soft, but I've heard that mediums is the better is the better tyre start on, as we have just had a few incidents with Tadas going out the Ascari chicane on his outlap, and Magsy has been disqualified for facing the wrong way.
Yeah, I was on board with him. He got it wrong, but whatever corner that is that throws you into the air off the curbs. No idea what it's called. It spun around and was very gently returning to the circuit in order to avoid getting in the way of other drivers. And he's done an Adrian, we'll call it. He got himself disqualified, facing the wrong way. This game is absolutely perfect. And obviously decided that Magsy took the Mickey a little bit there in turning around. So I thought, you know what, we'll just throw him out of qualifying altogether. Tadas, the Ascari chicane. I think he flouted the left-hand curb on the exit and hit the inside wall, which is very easy to do. So now we're going to lose 2 drivers, and I wonder if that is going to change the minds of some of those on the soft tyres, and perhaps they'll think about going to the mediums.
Yep, definitely. I mean, I'm not saying anyone would, but especially for the likes of Hobnob and Mongo, perhaps they pull back on the lap a little bit. Willie Bum hasn't set a fantastic lap there, so perhaps drivers I've seen, there's only 2 drivers left to go, and I've got that mind frame of perhaps putting a set of mediums on now and seeing what they can do on them, because there is nothing to lose at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they've done their soft runs. If they want to work to another set of soft tyres, that's the only thing they can do. But I think, yeah, like you said, Willie Bum, he's pulled back on his lap, holding up too. They'll come in now and put a set of the mediums on. I can almost guarantee that. They'll have the pace now. They'll lose 2 more drivers. Interesting enough, Espejo, though, continues on and does set the fastest lap of the session there.
Yeah, that's a fantastic lap from the Haas driver, 1:21.1. I imagine that's pretty safe to see him through to Q3. I see that Mongo's improving this time as well to 1:21.6. What do you think the cutoff will be for a Q3, Bill?
Well, I don't know how accurate I was with my Q1 prediction, because I didn't get to see the times. So, I mean, yeah, it depends how many drivers come in and put the soft compound tyre on. But if you're looking at the minute, Hobnobs is a 1:21.4 on a set of soft tyres. I imagine that's going to be kind of roughly where we're at. Obviously, like I said, depends how many people can put the softs on. Another spinner where Magsy dropped it again, I think into TS9 on a second push lap. But I would imagine that Diamond and Midwood Maestro might feel like they're safe, but again, if goes behind in Valente and Co come in and put the soft tyres on, then they might need to go again.
Yep, definitely is. Drivers on the medium tyres look like they're struggling with the grip. I've just been on board with Nigel Pagel at the back end of his lap, and especially through Ascari, the car was very wobbly and he struggled to really put his foot down, and it's representative of his time now. He is pushing again, so we'll just keep an eye on him here to see if he has perhaps got his tyres in the right zone now as he approaches the I don't know the corner here, but the corner that Magsy spun out, unfortunately. And takes that really nicely, so I imagine he's got his tyres up to temperature here through Lesmos. 1 and 2 take a bit of curb here. Yeah, looks like the back end just went on him slightly there, but still managed to keep it nice and steady on track. Coming down to Sky Chicane, let's see if he does keep it nice and clean through here. Which he looks like he is. Took a bit of curb on the exit. Yeah, I'd say that was pretty spot on. Looked like a bit of a wobble halfway through, but managed to correct it very nicely. So it looks like that the medium drivers need 2 push laps to really get them tyres in the zone. Sneddon doesn't really set a fantastic first lap.
Yeah, I think the slap from Nigel is a little bit conservative. He hasn't quite pushed it perhaps as much as he would have wanted to, but it is only a 1:21.9, so I imagine he'll have to go again with that time. Sneddon, as you said, needs to improve, so too Valente, so big gap at the moment between the tyres, but that is probably down to, I mean, the setup here, it really is all about straight line speed. I know drivers that run 1-1 wings, all about straight line speed around Monza, and tyre difference is just really telling in the corners, and it really is helping those that perhaps you might not expect to see ahead of the likes of Nigel Pigg and Valente at this stage.
Yep, definitely. One thing I am noting, it looks like it's going a little bit gloomy, and the sun's not out on the track, and maybe the track temperature's dropping just a little bit. That isn't working as much as these medium tyre runners.
Yeah, that might perhaps a little bit of a downpour in Q3, as TS9 seems to have got it all wrong as well at the corner that no one knows the name of. We'll call it the to the moon corner. It's if you hit the curves, it will literally take you to the moon, and he looks like he's got it wrong on the exit there and hit the inside wall. That's pretty much where Magsy lost it and got disqualified for turning around. So yeah, carbon copy of that one, but he's hit the wall, and with a 1:32.7, I'm just going to start lower than 10th in the race, but you never know.
Yep, it's a shame to TS9 up there. I mean, he did look like have some promising pace in Q1. Yeah, I mean, the medium tyres just don't look like they've worked still for any driver, as looks like everyone is coming to pit for the medium tyres, sorry, for the soft tyres. Midfield Maestro looks like he's put a fresh set of softs on. He is coming on 2011 now, so we'll see what he is about there. Whether he's going to the pits, no, he isn't going to the pits. Push the line for 120.7. That's a fantastic lap from the Alpine driver. That's more than safe. But spraying up a set of softs, is that a risk for him?
Well, it obviously depends what those around him do. As he's demonstrating a lovely way to take the bollard to turn one there. Great job of getting around though. But yeah, I mean, imagine he's probably looked at the rest of the field at the moment and he knows they're all on softs. Snedden's persistent on the mediums, but clearly the delta between the tyres is massive at the moment. Yeah, if those around him are all going to start on the mediums, on the softs, I should say, then I don't think he'll be too disadvantaged. But one thing to take away from that is that Midfield Maestro does have pace in for Q3. He has got pace to perhaps get himself up the front of the grid.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what the true time of Snedden is, obviously, at the moment, but that might have raised an eye or two, especially like Nigel Piggle as well, who, with the competitive Adrian out, would have expected to be perhaps on the podium. And we'll wait to see what happens now. Snedden's logic with the medium tyres, maybe he thinks the medium's the best one to go through, even if he can't set a decent time, purely because we've only got potentially one more driver to go out.
Yeah, we've already lost 3, haven't we? So, yeah, I mean, I always prefer to start on the mediums. You know, Snedden's most likely got the pace if he can get the lap together, but 3 minutes 40 now on the clock. And if he doesn't get the lap together here, I don't think as I've just seen, TJ, I think there's a few spots of rain coming down at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just, I wasn't sure if I've seen things, but yeah, rain is definitely coming down, and I'm watching Snedden's going through Lesmos now. It looks like it's about light rain at this point, but surely he won't want this. This is just going to ruin his lap at this point now.
Well, I don't think it's quite fallen just much yet. He has got to 10th place there. The driver gets his time over the line. I think it was Locker, 21.4, so he'll be through. He's slightly up on his time. His time was at 1:29.2, so I don't know how much he backed off in the final sector. We'll find out very shortly. Down to 11th now for Snedden, so the pressure is on there through the Parabolica, or whatever new court name it's got. But this time needs to be good enough to get ahead of Belente. 22.5 he needs to beat. As we've mentioned, the rain has fallen, crosses the line, and is then temporarily, for now at least, through on a 21.7. But Belente and Neder, Nigel Piggle in the pits of the soft tyre, but those drivers have put on the softs, so might improve before the rain falls too much.
Yeah, as we ride and Bud and Neder, who's just taking Lesmos 2. The rain has fallen, as you mentioned. He's approaching the Sky chicane, but the track is getting slippier with each second. Let's see how the driver does do for the Sky chicane. Takes a bit of curb. Yeah, it runs a little bit wide. I think he slipped off the curbs ever so slightly. That's not what he wants at this point, but still got enough time to do a second push lap. Although he is almost out of fuel, so we'll wait and see what happens here. Nigel Piggle, as you mentioned, that he's had to come out in P10. So it's all to play for still at this point. It would be a massive shame for Nigel Piggle to go out at this point. Neder does come in the pits, and I don't think he's got the time to get back out and set a lap. So I think Nigel Piggle might get through purely because Neder can't set the lap.
Yeah, Nigel Piggle is through. He just needs to come into the pits here. I know he listens along to the stream, and a little bit of insider information from the Neder into the pits. Will not get round again. I don't know if that was purely weather related, but will not be making any more progress in qualifying then. So we do know our bottom 4. I mean, unfortunately it was taken away from us slightly with 3 DNFs, but yeah, the weather might make Q3 a bit interesting though. I don't know how much wet running these guys have done.
Yep, definitely. I mean, we don't know what the weather is. No one has mentioned anything about the weather either, so we are just in the blind. Yeah, it does certainly look like it's going to rain for Q3, so maybe we'll see the intermediate tyres, which always shakes the field up anyway. So we'll wait and see what happens now. as Valente's... Oh no, he's coming to the pits there. So yeah, so we just imagine we'll just wait for the drivers to retire at this point. As Ned has decided to come back out. Yeah, the AI will take over very shortly. Perhaps you didn't see the time. As time is up, and yeah, as expected, Ned was taken away AI because he was on his out lap. Very unlucky from the AlphaTauri driver, but he is on tactical pole. So wait and see what he can do at this point. So just to confirm, our four we're losing from Q2 is Magsy88, Tadas, FPRL TS9, and NedAir92. Interestingly, only 2 drivers managed to get through to Q3 on the medium tyres, who are Nigel Piggle and Snedden. All other drivers will start on the soft tyres, assuming it's not a wet race.
Yeah, just some information there, Nigel Piggle. It didn't look like it was going to rain at all in qualifying from the radar, so yeah, a bit of a surprise there. I think that very nearly caught himself out towards the end of qualifying there. He was lucky that they could not improve on his timing, but we'll start on tactical pole position, of course. But I mean, the difference in tyre choices in Q2 and pace we've seen so far, as we've got a nice little migrating host there. We love to see it. At the end.
Yeah,
oh dear. It looks like I think 3 drivers have been kicked there. As I was saying, oh wait, no, it's 1 million drivers. It's it's 4, 5 up.
Yeah, you see, I've not seen any of these drivers leave on my screen, so yeah, okay. So I think the lobby is. Oh, here we go. I'm progressing through, so we'll see what's going on here.
Diamond's been kicked. I've been kicked. TS9's been kicked. This has gone swimmingly well.
Yeah, so we are waiting for players. I don't know who we're going to get through into Q3 at this point. There is a load of drivers waiting to load in, so we'll just wait and see. Love things you love to see about Codemasters and their amazing servers.
Iron Jaw now sent me the message. He's being kicked. Locker's being kicked. TJ, I think every single person here has been kicked from the lobby at the end of Q2. So we have a very important decision to make now.
Do we do a restart on qualifying, or do a short quali or a one-shot quali? Oh no.
Right. Why does this have to happen this week? Let's keep.
I mean, right. Okay. Yeah. So we have to do a lobby restart for definite. Everyone's just stuck on the loading screen. All's been kicked out at this point.
Well, in the 14 or so races we've done so far, Tidjum.
Oh, hang on. So, something's happening. We are loading back into qualifying.
Oh, how many people are there?
I don't know at this point. Okay, so we are in qualifying. We have got the 10 drivers. I don't know who is actually in the lobby or not. So we'll wait and see what is happening.
This is good. Let's keep everyone really entertained with there is a poll for pole. There's a poll for pole that's got no idea who's going to get pole here, considering what's going on. But
I mean, the interesting news is here that it says a wet quad Q3. The drivers are on intermediate tyres. As we are getting drivers leave the pits, so we have got drivers in here, which is good to see. However,
how many?
I do feel we are.
How many drivers?
I do feel we're going to have to do a lobby restart. And I've been kicked from the session now.
Okay, so how we deal with this is we tell everyone.
Yeah, that is definitely the right call. While we sort this out, ladies and gentlemen, there will be a short